No offense to Jiffy. Shout out. Love your popcorn.
They make
Jiffy Pop?
Is that
not a thing?
No, I mean it's a thing, but do Jiffy cornbread make Jiffy Pop? Welcome to another episode of Rooted and Blended. I am Samil, the rooted one.
I am Elena, I'm blended.
How is everybody doing tonight? I'm glad that you all are doing okay. All right, so we are talking about food.
Yes, yes.
So last week we mentioned that there's wars. Well, they're not wars, but do you feel like it's a war?
Could be. We'll see how this goes down.
Okay. Well, we said that we was going to talk about the war between soul food and Mexican. So do you happen...
There's no war. So we win. Nos ganamos.
So I just... You're going to make me laugh. I had a whole intro of what I wanted to say, but
Where's it at?
I'll say it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, more will be revealed.
Okay, so soul food. The history that I know about soul food is that it all started in slavery. I knew you was gonna say something. But it started in slavery, and the slaves had to work with the scraps. And they made dinner out the scraps. So that's how it came about with the different dishes for soul food.
Wow.
And that's about as much history as I know, because I wasn't there back then.
Well.
What about you and your Mexicans?
So, Mexican food has a long history as well, dating all the way back to the Mayans and the Aztecs. And we introduced maize to the settlers. Now, I know...
Maize.
Maize. M-A-I-Z. But in Spanish is maíz. Right? Not mice. There's no rats.
Go ahead.
So, go ahead.
No, I'm looking at the camera.
Go ahead.
No, so that's the history of Mexico.
That is the history of Mexican food, and so there's a rich history with seasonings and chili peppers and all those things that make it so great. But yes, it dates back to the Mayans and the Aztecs.
I would love to say that there's a history of Black people eating soul food with a lot of seasoning, but I just can't see that. I know that we probably made our own seasonings during those times, but what we use today is like a plethora of seasoning. We are heavy-handed on the seasons. They say if you ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoning.
I love that. I love that. Yes.
So, now that we kind of know about a little bit of the history of both, what is your favorite dish?
I mean, me personally, I like pozole. It's an amazing kind of stew, if you will, that's made around the holidays or for special occasions. It can be made with pork. It's usually made with pork, and it's got all kinds of chiles, onions, pork. There's just so much. I wanted to start with bread, because this chin screams carbs, right? So let's talk about cornbread versus tortillas.
Oh, okay. All right. So cornbread. Cornbread can be made in different kind of ways. Cornbread can be made in a skillet. It can be made in just the little cupcake pans. It can be made in a cake pan. We've gotten lazy. My generation has gotten lazy, and we use Jiffy. But Jiffy can be done in different variations. You can add honey, you can add cinnamon, you can add blueberry. It's easy, but it's still cornbread. Now, our mothers and grandmothers did the whole hot water cornbread where it was like in the skillet and all that.
Her ancestors are crying right now.
No, they are crying because they see this podcast and they like, go girl.
They work in them fields for her to go to the store and buy Jiffy. No offense to Jiffy. Shout out. Love your popcorn.
They make
Jiffy Pop?
Is
that not a thing?
No, I mean it's a thing, but do Jiffy cornbread make Jiffy Pop?
Oh.
So, with bread though, bread is really good with making a dish called dressing. Yeah, I call it dressing. Other people call it stuffing. And that's what we normally use the cornbread for. We really don't have cornbread. Well, we do, but it's not like made just for us to be eating.
So, tortillas. We got two types. We got corn and we got flour. And you can put anything you want in a tortilla. You can make a breakfast taco with some huevos, some eggs, and some peppers. You can put some chicken. You can put some pork. You can put fish tacos. You can put everything. They're so versatile. So I think on bread, tortilla wins. 1-0 to cornbread.
You had it.
Okay.
You got it.
Ding, 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 ding.
You can have it. The next thing I will mention that I see that is eaten around the world. You already know what I'm about to say. Take a guess.
Meat.
What kind of meat?
Chicken.
What kind of chicken?
White chicken?
No!
That's just so seca, so dry.
Fried chicken.
Oh, yes.
Damn. Okay. All right, so fried chicken is a staple. Fried chicken can be eaten in the morning.
Who eats fried chicken in the morning?
I have cooked some fried chicken in the morning.
Okay. Oh, chicken and waffles?
Yeah, chicken and waffles.
I don't get it, but okay.
Hey, you haven't eaten chicken and waffles?
I don't.
Chicken in the morning, chicken in the afternoon, chicken in the evening. I'm not a fish eater. And unfortunately, I hate that because I do want some fish. But chicken can go with just about anything. It can go in a taco. Mm-hmm. It can go, what else? It can go by itself, and that's enough. It's just fried chicken. I do see a lot of white folks consuming fried chicken.
It's true. Cultural appropriation.
Do you want to call it that, or is it they just like seasoned meat? So, I think fried chicken is just universal for any holiday, any day of the week, any time of the day. It can be cooked air fried. It can be fried in grease. I'm trying to sell this to you.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't like fried chicken. I'm just saying all of the carne that we have in Mexican cooking, like, you know, you can get chorizo, which is...
I thought that was like a ground beef.
It's sausage. Okay, you can get barbacoa. That is like a barbecued meat on a spit. Mm-hmm. You can get lengua.
Oh yeah. Tell them what that is.
I love me a tongue taco. Taco de lengua. They're so good. And I mean, there's just so much. There's so much different types of meat and the way that we season it to put in our dishes. So I feel like we have more selection and variety of seasoned meats. So, I mean, I feel like...
How many seasons do you put on your meat at one time when you cooking meat?
Maybe 3 or 4. Why? How many do you put on?
Like 10.
But is that over seasoning? Like, can you taste the food, or is it all just seasoned?
You can taste the meat. And not to say that seasoning has to be, it doesn't have to be that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up where it was at least 4 to 10 seasonings on meat. Because meat seems to be dry. It has a dry taste if you're not seasoning it.
I don't know how you cook it. Maybe you need to learn how to cook.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
I mean,
And I'm not, some people are like, you really have to season the meat. But I'm learning as I get older, because my body is changing,
mm-hmm.
and my blood pressure is changing too. I don't need as many. But it is going to be more than 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But getting back to your concept about all the meat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got chicken, we got turkey wings, turkey necks, pig ears, pig nose. And it's all good if it's seasoned. That's the thing with soul food. It is seasoned. It's not so much about the food, but more about the seasoning and the love that you put into it. We don't measure stuff. If you know how to cook, we don't measure seasonings. Mm-hmm. We do what the ancestors told us to do. I listen to my ancestors when I cook.
Okay. So soul food makes you feel something.
Yes, sleepy.
Mexican food is a thrill. Was that loud enough in your ear?
It was. But we were discussing meats, and I understand you said you could put the tongue, the toe, and the stomach in a taco.
You sure can. Tacos estomago. In Spanish, we call it pancitos because it gives you a belly. Makes you a little gordita. Little fat.
Little fat. Ain't nothing wrong with a little fat.
Little fat.
Okay.
It's good. Thick. Eat a tortilla and you'll get thick.
I do see a lot of my people eating tacos, though. I do. I do.
Cultural appropriation.
I do see. Child, I must didn't do enough research. I gotta come up with something better. But I do see my people a lot in the Mexican restaurants. And now I'm glad that you kind of brought this up, and I know this is kind of going off topic, but you said that burritos.
Okay.
Tell me about burritos again. Tell the world.
So a lot of people, burritos is not a thing in Mexico. It's just not a thing. So a lot of people think when we go to these local Mexican restaurants down the street on Sundays after church that we're going to go have Mexican food. That is actually what is known as Tex-Mex food. So the difference between Tex-Mex and Mexican food, well, one, taste, but I digress. Tex-Mex food is back when obviously Texas was a part of Mexico, and then eventually the United States fought and won that land. And so there was a combination, a fusion of food that came about where you've got more sour cream, you've got lettuce, you've got a lot of just red tomatoes, which we have that in Mexico and Mexican food as well, but it's just a little bit different, and the different seasonings and flavors. And so I challenge you to go to your local Mexican restaurant and then go to your local food truck. That's where you're gonna find the real Mexican food.
Do you see that there is a different type of name for a Tex-Mex place over an authentic Mexican restaurant?
In the United States, no. I noticed that a lot of the Mexican restaurants in the United States have names that are a reflection of Mexico. Like in Guadalajara, the people are called tapatíos. And so you've got the tapatio hot sauce. And then in Mexico City, they're named something else. I forgot exactly what it's called, what they're called. But yeah, it's a reflection of names and people and places from Mexico that are up. Or like mi pueblo is my people, right? So it's just a reflection of community, which is very big in Mexico, and that's something I think that our two cultures have in common.
Yeah, definitely family. Definitely, Sundays is a day that we all get together as family, no matter where we are. We drop everything after church or whatever the case is, and just family comes around a big table, and we got all the fixings. We got cornbread stuffing, chicken, turkey, green beans, greens, sweet potatoes or candied yams, 4, 5, 6 different desserts.
It's making me hungry.
I know. But just like, in your culture and in mine, family is a big thing. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we would love to hear from you. I personally think that I won this argument with Mexican food being the best, but we want to know what you guys think. So let us know in the comments, on the poll, which one, if you could go on a desert island,
which food would you take?
Which food would you take?
Oh,
because I'm saying that Mexican food, you can just wrap up sand in a tortilla. I mean, you can wrap a leaf in a tortilla. It's just so versatile.
You're right. There is less preparation. With soul food, you doing some all day standing. You're doing some work when you cooking soul food.
We're civilized people. Who wants to work for their food? This is why we have Food Lion and Jiffy, I guess. She ain't working that hard. Jiffy.
My peoples is gonna get on me because I'm not a great debater, but I do like to eat, and all I can tell you is that if the food is good, I'm eating. Whether it's Mexican, soul food, Dutch, whatever, I'm gonna.
What you had this Dutch?
Apple pie.
Wow. She came out with apple pie. American. That's also American. Don't tell her.
But don't they say you put it in a Dutch oven?
Wow.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Got it together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, subscribe, let us know who wins. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.